Go to cloud. All right, the meeting is now recording.
Outstanding. Okay, so my understanding is that, so our last meeting, at which time we thought we put this into place, we didn't sufficiently put it into place, and so now today we're doing some housekeeping and getting it nailed down. Is that correct?
Yes, masks are now, as of May 6th, required. Sorry, I was looking at something.
Okay. So what, so I guess, can someone tell me clearly what we need to do, or what can we do to just make this happen? I mean, we've got the governor's order, which seems pretty clear. Bob, thanks for sending the 2-page document. So obviously we can, you guys are going to be the ones who are the enforcement arm of this, assuming you're okay with that. And is there anything else we need to do?
Well, at least on my end, I think if you adopt that letter or
Yep.
approve that letter that I sent to you, and that's a standard letter that's gone to probably every chief of police in the state from the law offices. And what that'll do is that now authorizes us to enforce the civil part of the $300 fine if people aren't complying with the order.
Okay. So we will draft that on, Scott, I assume we'll just have Kristen draft it on Board of Health letterhead and sign on behalf of the board and send that.
They did put a sample letter on there, so I will
Yeah.
reread it and review it to make sure that it is suitable for Bolton. You know, if it says going into places like hardware stores, we don't have that in our town. So I'll review it. I can, and then I'll send it for, approval. Or we're approving the letter tonight, and it will go on to letterhead. I can bring it up.
Yeah, so it's the letter that says, "Dear Chief,"
Correct.
and that looks as though it doesn't, again, it makes sense.
Now, just scanning it quickly. Let me just, I'm gonna share that so it's in the meeting. 1 second.
I'd suggest that you actually do a formal vote on that tonight too.
Okay, thank you, Don. Scott, have you had a chance to read the letter?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so why don't I make a formal motion to accept the letter as drafted, designating Bolton Police Department as our enforcement agents.
Okay, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Don, was that sufficient? I mean, is that gonna?
I think that should be fine. Chief, is there anything else that you need out of the board?
Oh, at this time, I don't think anything. I was just wondering, is the board going to be educating the businesses, or I don't know if you have a Facebook page or some sort of notice to either everybody in town or the business owners so they know what to be looking for?
Again, we have the website and everything is posted up there, but I guess that's a good point. Is there a means for us to do that? I mean, I know that we've got contact stuff for tobacco licenses.
I can work with Jenny to see if there's a list of businesses in town.
That's true, yeah. But the assessors might have something like that too.
The assessors might have something. Also, it would be probably primarily the businesses that have people coming into them. So a business
Primarily retail businesses.
primarily retail.
Things like the Country Cupboard, Bolton Orchards, the Pack Store.
Right.
You know.
Who
Pizza
I'm
places
sure,
that are
well,
in town.
yeah, and I assume they're, like the rest of us, are well aware that this is hitting. I mean,
They should be.
you'd really have to be under a rock not to know that this stuff was coming up. Okay, so let's hope that in the interim, we're starting tomorrow, that businesses are in the know and are going to comply. And I mean, and Bumper, is there a warning, like a component to this where you can give someone a warning initially, and then go to a fine, or is it a strict, like, here's your ticket?
I don't think we want to be strict, go right to ticket. I think we should do verbal warnings, try to
Okay.
educate the person if we have the chance to talk to them. I've already gotten 1 or 2 phone calls saying, there's no way I'm wearing a mask. You're gonna have to arrest me. Not the best attitude for,
No.
citizens of Bolton to take, especially where, this is such, it can be spread so easily.
Yeah,
And, we want to look out for them. We want to look out for us. It's for the whole community's good, on their behalf. So I think what, I'll tell my officers is, go in and obviously do a warning, try to get compliance, voluntary compliance. And, obviously if you have to step up the ladder, you go to the civil fine, and it can go all the way up to arrest if somebody doesn't want to leave for trespassing.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kristen, what are you thinking? An email to the businesses or?
That would have to be the quickest way for me to get the information out there. I mean, even if I got this typed, printed, and put in a mail tomorrow, it's still gonna be a day or two through the post office to get to them. So I think, I'll try to work with how many emails, I have and how many more emails I can obtain. Send them an email and then perhaps follow up with a sign letter
Right.
on the letterhead.
And of course, let's start with the operations that we know are open and operating.
Correct.
And, the country club is probably not a hot one right now because they're closed.
All right.
Um,
Now, just
So,
off the
yeah,
top of my head, aside from the 3 I mentioned, I can think of the wineries doing takeout service. Tina's doing takeout service. On top of those 2. So there's 6 just off
right.
of my head.
Sure.
If you have something written up by tomorrow morning, if Kristen can get it to me, I can certainly go to those businesses that, like Don said, the retail ones, Country Cupboard, Bolton Orchards,
Right.
Winery, stop, have a quick conversation with the business owner. And
So that may be the fastest and most effective way to do this.
certainly, yep, I can do that.
Great.
Anything else you would want to add into that letter? So I can send them and get them to you. I know there's some face coverings, do's and don'ts. Just, something of a simple, the letter that, maybe obviously the letter that we're adopting this. Face covering, do's and don'ts, just some kind of general education to go along with it.
Maybe that's something we can
I'm
send
sure there's
along
signs
as
for their doors. That's the
maybe
other thing
something
too.
we can send along as a follow-up. I mean, I think let's get the chief this authority, and let the establishments know, and then once that's done, then we can certainly start an education piece. I think, because frankly, I don't know what the face mask do's and don'ts are, so I've got to go brush up on that real quick. That being said, are we all comfortable with the governor's order being comprehensive enough? Does it hit all the wants, needs, and concerns of the employees of Bolton in town hall? I mean, at DPW, at the again, not a lot of public, I assume, going into the police station, but
Well, let me just say that right now, the governor's deadline for reopening, whatever that may be, is May 18th. I do think he's going to start to loosen things on May 18th, but I don't think he's just going to flip a switch.
sure.
And I think he's going to start expanding what is allowed to be open. I had a staff meeting this morning at 11 o'clock, and I told the staff that I intend to inform the selectmen Thursday night that we are keeping town buildings closed for an additional 2 weeks to kind of let things shake out. Things are moving, things are getting done, and maybe not in the most elegant manner, but they're getting done.
Sure.
And people are still going to be, we're still going to have cases out there. We've plateaued, but we're not really dropping all that much. So, you know, I don't want the public to be a risk to themselves and each other. I don't want them to be a risk to the employees. So right now I'm looking at June 1st, you know, at a minimum. And even then, what I'm leaning towards is if people have a need that can only be taken care of by coming into the town hall and doing a face-to-face, then it's by appointment only. So I can manage the flow in, because otherwise, and I keep on saying this and I'm not being cavalier about it, I can't be the Walmart greeter that's there counting heads all day long, making,
Right.
don't have more than, you know, X number of people in the town hall. And as long as, so I've got to worry about social distancing. Same thing for the DPW, same thing for the senior center, public safety, the chief and I have discussed. The library is a different animal. The library is under the trustees. You know, I have no authority, no direct authority over the library. So Kelly was on the call this morning and I told her she's going to need to make sure she's got plans that the trustees are comfortable with, but Kelly knows everything that everybody else knows about what I'm planning.
Okay.
So I would say by mid-June, I could see us open to the public and comporting with whatever social distancing the governor is requiring at that time. I have to assume that by then, groups of greater than 10 are going to be allowed. Whether it's groups of 50, groups of 100, who knows? But I don't think he's going to focus on the group size so much as he's going to focus on the social distancing and the face covering.
And that was
And
one
then-
that was reiterated in all of the documents, that while the face coverings are mandated, it does not replace social distancing. So another good reminder, as the governor does loosen up that, you know, businesses and, you know, public places that, you know, have people coming in and still follow the, you know, the social distancing rules that have, or guidelines that have been put into place.
I noticed some towns are taking temperatures daily as employees come in. Do we have any plans to do that? Do we have any capability to do that?
I don't have any plans to do it. I know we don't have the capability right now to do it. I'm not entirely sure it's legal, but that's for other towns to worry about. No, I'm comfortable that our employee, because if I'm taking employees' temperature, I also want to take the public's temperature, and I don't think we're going to go there. Why would I test the employees and not test the public? So, no, I don't have any plans to do that right now.
Okay. I mean, it's a constantly evolving situation.
It is. I mean, 3-4 weeks from now, I may say something different, but
Sure. Well, that's
That's
why,
fine.
you know, I almost don't want to go too far and you're overthinking this because it, you know, it does change so quickly. Okay, so that being said, so we're comfortable with the governor's orders. We like that. We're going to get a letter to Bumper for the, is there anything else we need to do at this time?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So Scott and I have voted the letter. Again, it seems as though the governor's orders are comprehensive enough that we don't need to add to that, but certainly reserve the right or the option to do so. And if that's the case, then I make a motion to end the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
All right, thank
All
you.
right.
Good? Everyone got what they need? Everyone has what they need.
We do.
Yes, I will work on that, excuse me, letter, and I'll get that over to you tomorrow, as soon as I can, chief.
Sure, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right.
Aye.
Good to
Thank
see you.
you.